What's up, my people? What's up, my people? This is Dr. Ray. You already know. My patient today is the credit hero. Check him out on Instagram. This guy is saving lives. And why do I say he's saving lives? Because for you to live an optimal existence, for you to be healthy, you need to take under consideration your financial health. Part of your financial health is your credit. And this man right here, our patient on this beautiful ambulance. By the way, guys, this guy used to be an EMT, so he's familiar with what's going on in the back of this ambulance. How you doing, bro?
Man, many moons ago, bro, I was an EMT. I worked the job for 1 day, though.
1 day?
Yep, and then I got put on active duty orders, and then from there I deployed, and then I started my own business.
You hear that, bro?
Many moons ago.
So you had it in you the whole time to be a man of service?
Oh, absolutely, 100%.
What inspires you to do that?
I like impacting people's life. And before being a full-time entrepreneur, the way that I see myself impacting life were through medicine. And I just love the EMT stuff because I'm jumping out of the bus, I got the whole pack on, I'm running out with the jump bag. I just thought it was pretty cool. So
for sure.
And plus, when I was in Jamaica, which is where I'm from, I was in school for medicine. So I was doing biochemistry, preliminary sciences. I've always been a student of the sciences. So for me, it was natural to be in a field of medicine if I was going the 9-to-5 route.
Got you. So he's from the Caribbean, I'm from the Caribbean. It's funny, we have similar background. Now, let me take a shot at the patois. You ready?
Let's go.
What part are you? I don't know if it sounds good, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get it. I get what you were saying, though. Manchester.
Got you. I know a few people from St. Catherine, Spanish Town, man.
Bet,
I ate a lot of bun and cheese on Easter, man. And you know what's funny, man? That brings me up to a story. I remember I went to a West Indian party in Flatbush, and I told everybody I was Sean Paul's cousin. I don't know if they believe me, but at the end of the night, they started calling me Telemundo because they were like, you lying." But yeah, man. Guys, listen. For anybody who's watching this, you might already know I'm a medical doctor. I've been in the healthcare field for almost 20 years. I've been an EMT since 2003. I became a paramedic in 2007. And in 2017, I became a medical doctor, literally a doctorate degree in medicine. I started off as a high school dropout who's been arrested, who's been carrying guns and was raised by a single mom on welfare, to now obtaining this degree that people hold so highly. And I practice digital medicine. So what does that mean? I cure people. I don't treat them. I'm not the type of guy who gives you medications that fix one thing and mess up the next. And the reason why is because 99.9% of what people suffer from come from lifestyle changes. They can be remedied with lifestyle changes. So I say that to say this. A part of our lifestyle that we need to take under consideration, and while we're doing this collaboration, is your financial health, man. Your financial health. If you ever noticed, if you ever worked in an ambulance or you ever been working inside of a poverty-stricken area, you see that these are the sickest people, bro. These are the people who need the most help in all areas of life, including their health. And bro, shine some light on what you've seen or how you've noticed that finances has changed your life or people that you've met along your journey. Because this man, he changed his life. He's helped over 100 people in fixing their credit and improving their financial health. So please, man, is there a story that you could think of where you're just like, wow, man, I see how this helps so much?
Yeah, definitely. So a little bit of correction. It's definitely thousands. My highest streamed video that has gotten the most results for the most people right now is sitting at about 140,000 views. And in that video, I gave information on how to get late payments deleted, collections, student loans, basically any account. One of the biggest things, though, when it comes to finances, a lot of people don't comprehend that bad credit habits come from a poor mindset. And when I say a poor mindset, a poor health mindset, because your consumer reports, your credit reflects behaviors. Behaviors are subconscious patterns, right? So when we talk about credit isn't discussed in the home. Like, at least I'm Jamaican, so there was no credit. It was either you got your money or you don't. Over here now, what I've noticed from all the people that I've spoken to is that credit is not a topic that's discussed in the home. Most parents don't discuss credit and finances when the kids are present because it's an adult thing. Kids have no part in it, but if we're not teaching the kids how to properly comprehend credit, how to use credit, how to leverage credit, and what to do and not to do, our kids are going to grow up making the same mistakes we did. So when it comes to a 17-year-old leaving high school that has no idea what credit is, going on to college, got approved for their first credit card, they ran the credit card up and then they don't pay it, right? Then this collections or charge-off follows them for the next 7 years. But guess what? They're only in college for 4. So they got 3 years left with this charge-off or collection on their credit, and it never got addressed. So now they go apply for a job. Let's say this child was in finances and now they're going to the banks to work, and they pull the reports because you need some form of investigation, and now they're seeing multiple charge-offs, multiple collections, credit cards that ran up and never got paid. Do you think I, as a bank supervisor or general manager, is going to hire you with 3 to 4 collections on your credit, charge-offs and all of that stuff? We're not. So it puts us behind the 8 ball where we don't know the things that we don't know, and the things that we don't know have a tremendous effect on us. So what am I saying? How does credit lead into health? Well, poor credit choices often, in most cases, lead to poor health because the choice of food, look at our neighborhoods. They're filled with fast food. There's not a soul food, there's not a holistic, there's not the vegan spots. It's filled with fast food. I can go on any block radius and you can count at least 10 to 15 fast foods in a 2-block radius.
And then right next to it, you see a liquor store.
Right there.
And the Lucy spot to the next of it. Definitely, man.
So it's a situation where okay, these neighborhoods are targets because what? They are getting the assistance, the low-income assistance. They're getting the EBTs, the food stamps. They're getting these assistance. Well, whatever you want to call it, it's still money. A dollar is a dollar is a dollar. It could have been EBT, food stamp, whatever. A dollar is still a dollar. So at the end of the day, if we know that we're pumping, well, not we, but they're pumping money in these industries, some of those business owners know, hey, these people want fast food because they're not going to cook, right? They know that they want alcohol. They're trying to drown their problems out. They know that Mondays kill more people than anything in America because, you know, a lot of people are at jobs that they don't want to be at. And it's an ongoing cycle of bad credit, bad health. Just look at it. The obesity rate, the nutrition rate, everything is bad in bad neighborhoods with bad credit. It's a whole recipe for disaster. But when we look at our counterparts, where their kids are taught credit, how to invest in credit, how to put their tuition on a credit card, right? How to do these things, use credit to invest in real estate, start building wealth. I had a friend, at about, I think 11 years old, her dad bought a multi-family property for her, right? I think he did it off of like a $15,000 credit card, and that was her vehicle for college. So by the time she was 18, 19 going to college, that home had appreciated. Never took out a college loan, never took out a student loan, because what they were able to do is the property was still cash flowing. So what they did was they did a cash out refinance, pulled the money out that she needed for school. She still retained the asset. School was paid off, so she came out no student loan. She still had the property and it was still cash flowing. So it's a situation where if we were taught the right things growing up, I think we would have better health. Because now when you talk about better health, well, I can get insurance, right? I don't need to suffer anymore because I can't get medicine. I can't go to the gym. I can't afford a personal trainer. I can't afford a nutritionist. Like, think about the lifespan of a poor person and the lifespan of a rich person. Just really think about it and see who lives the longest with an abundant life and all the things. I'm not talking about just the money, but the quality of life, the food, the access, the network.
Guys, this man is spot on, man, because I've seen personally some of the sickest people, like I mentioned before, are people who are coming from impoverished neighborhoods, but now is the information age. Like, literally, you have the world at your fingertips. When you have this information online, all you have to do is leverage it. Now, don't leverage it for entertainment, because a lot of times people get a false sense of accomplishment. You're hearing this information, he's giving a high level explanation of the importance of credit with histories and like stories of people involved. And you know this already. I'm sure these people that are watching this, they know the importance of credit. They know the importance of taking care of themselves. So the reason why I bring this up...
I don't think they do.
No?
The reason why I say that is people don't know the things that they don't know, because most of the stuff we learn through being taught stuff.
Yes, sir.
So if these things weren't taught in the home, like for instance, I'll use me as an example. I can't use anybody else. I wasn't taught credit and finances at home. That's something I had to learn later on in life. And I'm quite sure I'm not the only one. Maybe your family was a bit more sophisticated and things were different, but I know in my household and people that I know, they weren't taught about credit, they weren't taught about finances, they weren't taught about health.
That makes sense.
Eat, go get some food, cook and eat. Like, what is protein, how much protein, like that stuff wasn't taught to us. Dude, I resent eating salads. I never ate salads until I was an adult.
Right.
So, I wouldn't say it's because they don't want to know. I think that most of them weren't taught. It was not taught in the homes. And then the schools we go to, public schools, they're not catering specifically to different things, where we have a home economics, where we have a class on living, where we have classes on different life skills we're going to need in the future.
Right.
But they're teaching us trigonometry and the cow jumped over the moon and all these different things.
Like biology a whole bunch of times, like in junior high school and elementary school and in high school. And you know, I come from a tough love. Like, this is good cop, this is bad cop. Bad paramedic, good paramedic, right? Quote unquote. And the reason I say that is because people also have to take extreme accountability for the information that they do or do not have, because your health is your responsibility.
Absolutely.
Your education and the education of your family is your responsibility. Let's say you're a man, right? You're a man, you got 3-4 kids. If you're not protecting and providing for them, you cannot call yourself a man. And if you are coming from an impoverished neighborhood like myself, I can't blame the system for every little thing that happens to me. But there is parts of the system that they're scheduled to keep me right where I am. Example, let's say an automobile. If you have a used automobile, and it's like a hoopty, you got to worry about having money for the mechanic. But if you get something brand new and you lease it with good credit, of course, or you finance it with good credit, of course, then you have to worry about paying that payment per month, every month, to keep your credit in good standings. So the reason why I bring this up is because if you look around, we mentioned the liquor stores, we mentioned the fast foods in the neighborhoods, we mentioned all these things that go on in the school. If you are not swimming against the current, if you're not taking matters into your own hands, if you're not taking your health into your own hands, the current is going to take you along with it. And what does that look like? It looks like a mediocre existence to me. Why do I say that? Because shout out to Nehemiah Davis and everybody in the inner circle.
Facts.
I met this brother because we both decided to invest in ourselves. That's how we made the connection. We ended up hitting it off because of something that another high-level thinker already established. So you got to get around high-level thinkers. so that you can have high-level thoughts. And those high-level thoughts are going to make you a high-level individual because you're going to have high-level actions.
Funny enough, you say that. You know, it's actually almost a year, right?
Yeah, November 2021.
Yep, almost a year.
Bro, I witnessed Neo, bro, during that call. And I was like, yo, bro, this man is a genius. The whole setup, everything. I've seen Coach Kelly. I'm watching from afar. And I'm just can't wait to get in the inner circle myself. But I see the success. And everyone there is a colored individual, bro.
Mm-hmm.
They ain't got no excuses. They went ahead and they made it happen. You're one of them. You're an immigrant, comes from the Caribbean islands, from Jamaica, swims against the current, and now is able to affect thousands of people.
I mean,
that's awesome, bro.
If you had excuses and results in the same sentence, I don't think you'd have become a doctor. Like, they don't exist. It's either you're gonna have excuses,
right,
or you're gonna have results. So I'm sure it's no easy task becoming a doctor.
Guys, while I was in medical school, they took away my school loans. Guys, imagine, I went to medical school in the Dominican Republic. I was eating mangoes and drinking coconut water. And then all of a sudden, they take away my school loan, my FOSFA federal school loans. I was stuck with an ultimatum. I did not have good credit. I had just went bankruptcy. So that bankruptcy you mentioned while I was in school was active. The 7 years had not passed. What was I left with, brother? I was left with an ultimatum. Am I quitting my dream to become a doctor? Or am I going to make it happen? What did I do? I flew back and forth. Look, bro, goosebumps, bro. You can't make this stuff up. I flew back and forth every weekend, every vacation, every long weekend. When my friends were at the beach, I was in New York working 70 hours.
Oh, wow.
And then flying back with jet lag. This back of the ambulance I'm very familiar with because I used to sleep in the back of this ambulance. But I'm not asking for a pity party. I just want you to know, if a high school dropout with no education on how to build this credit, by the way, the highest my credit score has ever been is 790. So I went from bankruptcy to going up to 790, tier 1 credit. Everyone's like, yo, what do you want? You want a mortgage? You want a car? What do you want? Just take it. It's yours. Right? Now, the reason why I bring this up is because, my people, we are what we think, we are what we feel, and we are what we do on a regular basis. So if you, for example, are throwing around the minority card, being from inner city, and you have a victim mindset, if you consider yourself a victim or a less fortunate person, you're going to continue to be a less fortunate person. You can't expect, because that's a negative thought, you can't expect a positive result from negative thoughts. So what does this all have to do? Literally, me and the big brother here, we're pouring our heart out, and people like us on these platforms because we understand the impact of the knowledge we have, and it'll be a huge disservice to humanity for us to keep it to ourselves. I see this brother every night online, bro, on live, answering questions, helping people fix their credit. Listen, money's not everything, right? We know that, but it's a damn tool that we need. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a tool that, and credit is part of that tool, because especially nowadays, everything, I mean, think about it. When was the last time you had $10,000 cash in your pocket? You probably had an American Express with a huge spending limit on it, but cash, you got your phone, boom, scan it, Uber Eats, all this stuff. Everything is revolving around credit. This is the way the system is built. But, you know, I hope this message inspires people to not complain about the system, but be a part of the system by leveraging information that you see online, that you hear from the brother, you hear from me. Like, we just want to see our people win, because when you at the top, bro, think about it. When you live in an optimal existence, humans are social creatures, bro. I don't think we want to be on a yacht by ourselves.
Nope. Damn sure don't.
Like, you want to be with your own people.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like, yo, for example, in my case, I lost 60 pounds. I had suicidal ideation. I was addicted to drugs. I was addicted to nicotine. I was addicted to pornography and alcohol while becoming a doctor. Coursing a divorce. Stressed the hell out. And I had 2 kids in a foreign country while working here as a paramedic.
That's crazy.
Thank God for coffee, man, because I drank a lot of coffee. It gave me gastritis. And I had an autoimmune disease that covered my whole body. Like, if you look closely, you'll still see traces of it. Because the stress, bro, the financial stress, because my financial health was so deteriorated that my physical health became deteriorated. Guys, I'm a medical doctor. I've been in healthcare for nearly 20 years. If you want to know how to be healthy, there's 5 pillars to health. You have your physical health. You have to lift weights, especially as a man. You have to leverage that testosterone. You have your nutritional health. You have to eat right. You have to eat the right foods. Guys, a person's overall health is directly proportional to their muscle mass. This muscle fibers that I have here, they have ATP, they have oxygen, they have mitochondria and biochemical reactions that my brother was listening to in his classroom back in the Caribbean. They go on in your muscle fibers. If you don't have any muscle fibers, you are not going to be healthy. That's why people who are in an active lifestyle have all this energy, because they have a lot of oxygen. When do you get tired? When you're out of breath. But being that oxygen is stored in muscle, now you have a whole abundance of energy. Boom, that's one. 90% of our neurotransmitters, or our hormones, the way we feel, are in our gut region.
That would explain when people say, oh, I feel it in my gut.
Exactly. So if you went ahead and you just ate too much carbs or a fatty, delicious meal, let's say you close the deal and I'm chilling, man, I'm happy. I just came up. I just doubled the price on this thing and people signed up, and then you go celebrate with a steak dinner, macaroni and cheese, and a bottle of wine, then follow that up with a tequila and a beverage. Then you're gonna be lethargic. And then once you take that drink, you know your inhibition is diminished, so then you want to smoke something. That's me. I'm Dominican. Like, the part of being Dominican, the freaking starter kit for being a Dominican, you gotta have a hookah now. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And it's like you get bogged down. You wake up the next day regretting it. Like, no one ever got drunk, woke up the next day like, I want to do that again. Unless they was like watching a stupid ass movie that influenced to think like that.
True.
Now, boom, physical health, right? Nutrition, mindset. You gotta have a bulletproof mindset, bro. Like, life is not gonna stop. It's not. If it's not your neighbor getting on your nerve and you're divorced, you got baby mama drama. It's not baby mama drama. It's the inflation. It's this, it's that. Life is not gonna stop. The only thing you can do, especially as a man, is be stoic and be stronger so you can deal with it better. That's 3 pillars. And then you gotta have spiritual health. I say that's the first one. Like, when I'm overwhelmed now, bro, you know what I do? I used to smoke and drink or go to Popeyes. That's serious, bro.
Of all places?
Popeyes, bro. And then follow that up with pizza.
Oh, wow.
And then follow that up with a drink and pornography while smoking a hookah.
Wow.
People are suffering in silence, bro. I was one of them. My man, if you are doing something that you don't want, bro, privacy don't exist. If you're doing something that you don't want the world to find out about, don't do it. Why? Because all you need is your web browser to be exposed and you're effed. So if you're watching websites and stuff that you don't want people to watch, just don't watch it. The next thing is financial health. Once you have these 5 things working in tandem, synergistically together, you're living an optimal existence. Think about people that have road rage. Think about those people that you call toxic. You know what they really are? They're losers, bro. They're losing in life. Think about it, bro. If you just closed the deal for 6 figures plus, you had a workout in, your wife is a model who's beautiful and she's faithful to you, and you had a prayer session, you're a single-digit body fat and got a 6-pack, and you ate a healthy meal, and you're sober, somebody cutting you off, or flipping you the finger is not gonna, like, bro, whatever, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, whatever.
No, that's a valid point. That's a valid point.
And the reason why I talk so passionately about this, bro, because that was me. You know who I was? I was like that cat with the arched back who's ready to attack. Bro, I got divorced. Why? Because I was, can I curse? I was the biggest bitch, bro. Dudes that are in jail, like 9 out of 10 of the people I was raised with are either dead or in jail or been to jail. You got to think about it. They're there because they didn't control their emotions. And that's a woman's trait. Nothing against the women. There's some women that are more manly than some men. But that's a woman's trait, bro. A man's supposed to be stoic, supposed to be firm, supposed to have some motherfucking money in his pocket, bro. You know how, like, I'm apartment shopping. My wife, she's pregnant. She's 6 months pregnant. We about to upsize.
All right.
Yeah, man. And guess what? To search for an apartment, they're running my credit. And I'm just like, man, if I'm gonna help you pay your own mortgage, I might as well pay my own. So I'm glad that my credit score is good, so that I qualify for a mortgage. I applied. All the mortgage companies found out, and now they're all hitting me up.
What program are you using? FHA or Sunny Mae?
I'm not sure yet.
I want you to look into FHA, and I want you to look into Sunny Mae. So one State of New York Mortgage Agency, and then the other one is Federal Housing FHA. I think it's Federal Housing Administration. But I would really rather you go with Sunny Mae because of the benefits Sunny Mae has. And Sunny Mae is it's unique to New York. So with Sunny Mae, you can get up to a 4-family with a commercial space, 5 units, and they can stack grants up to $75,000 for a down payment. And one of the key requirements is you living in that home for, I believe, 5 years, and you don't have any prepayment penalty, meaning that if you move out or you sell the house or stuff, you're gonna have to pay the grant back. I think it's between 5 and 10 years. But if if that's gonna be your primary home for the next 5 to 10 years, Sunny Mae offers programs for first-time home buyers where you can literally stack grants, literally up to $75,000. I'm not sure if it's more now, but when I looked at it about a year and a half ago, because I was about to home shop, I found a program. They're military friendly, law enforcement friendly as well, and they have different packages. So if you guys are ready to do that and take that step, I would recommend getting a multi-family where now you have other people paying you, right, while you save y'all income, joint income, whatever, and you guys can really start stream building the wealth now for the little one that's on the way. And another thing is you can also get a commercial spot. So see if you can find an area where a laundromat is needed. Turn the commercial spot now into a laundromat, but just make sure that the environment is good, where there's a lot of buildings so people can utilize the laundromat, because obviously it's not charity, but you want to be in business to make some money. Dude, that's like setting up little man or little girl right there for the future.
Bro, do you guys see the light bulb on top of my head through the freaking camera, bro? And this is what I mean. Perfect example of just like being around high level thinkers. I didn't know this. This is music to my ears. Yep. Thank you, bro.
You're absolutely welcome.
And by me applying this, bro, just look, I'm gonna change my family tree, bro.
Start building wealth.
Like, people, please understand that you can definitely do it too, man. Bro, we all take a shit. Everybody. We're 99.9% identical. I learned that in genetics while becoming a doctor. The only difference between me, you, and everybody else is 0.1% genetic variability. What works for you works for me. And bro, guys, you have to take your credit seriously. And if you are an idiot, I dare to call you an idiot, because it's a fool move, and he who is not a fool is not wise. Don't go down this rabbit hole of YouTube tutorials trying to figure it out by yourself. just cut the learning curve and get someone who's going to cut to the chase immediately, I probably would have never stumbled across this information. Matter of fact, I'm almost 100% guaranteed. But since me and this brother are talking now, it's like, you know, even my wife perked up because she's behind the camera. So we're gonna, you know, $75,000 in grants, and they want. There's loaners that want 3 to 5% up front, right? Mm-hmm. So what does that mean? You could get something, what, $750,000 minimum, if that's 10%.
No, you can get more, because now with the way inflation is, they adjust to inflation. So I believe for a family, it goes up to 1 point something. You can get like $1.4 million in a mortgage or a loan or whatever to purchase your property.
Wow.
It adjusts with the inflation of the housing market.
Wow. So imagine that. Imagine you got commercial property, you have tenants,
Mm-hmm.
you're lifting weights, you're doing martial arts, you got money coming in, you got your kids eating healthy, you're eating healthy, you're feeling vibrant, you're feeling positive. That's where we all belong, bro.
Absolutely.
Because guess what? What good is the money by itself? Like, you don't want to be that person who has it but feels like there's something missing inside.
Mm-hmm.
And I tell you, man, when I was overweight, I had the eczema, the depression, and the suicidal thoughts. I didn't have the money, which most of you could probably relate, because a large percentage of America is living check to check.
Very true. I was there.
Me too. And not only was I hurting and stressed out financially, but I was also hurting and stressed out physically, mentally, and my whole life was in shambles. So guys, what I'm trying to tell you is everything's related to everything. And for people who are successful in one area of life, you got to understand that you're supposed to be successful in all areas of life, not just one. And if you are successful in one area of life, imagine if you were to use that same discipline and extrapolate it to other areas of life. Guys, I have a mentor as well. You have a mentor.
I have a lot of mentors.
And one of the things my mentor told me, and shout out to Wes Watson, bro. Look him up, Watson__ fit. He's like, yo, you need to focus on your strength. You need to focus on your weaknesses while leaving your strengths on autopilot. He told me something along those lines. And what does that mean? Let me break it down. If you're strong, let's say you're an electrician and you're strong at doing electricity, but you're weak at solar, then keep doing the electricity. Don't stop and ignore the electricity, but work on your weaknesses. When I called you the other day, you're like, yo, I'm studying. Mm-hmm. This guy's helped thousands of people, reach over 100,000 people online, and he's still studying.
Absolutely.
Because there's parts of what he wants to do where he envisions himself moving forward 10 years from now, 20 years from now, that there's tools that he needs to add to his arsenal, to his shed. And that's an example, man. Like, yo, just peep the game, bro. I'm Hispanic. You know what they say? Blacks and Hispanics are supposed to suffer from high blood pressure and diabetes because it's genetic.
Such bullshit.
That's bullshit, bro. It's lifestyle choices.
Absolutely.
Sometimes when we work 911, they send us essential bookings. And I swear to you, bro, I go to central bookings to pick up a guy who's having a seizure or chest pain, and I felt like I belonged there because everyone around me was black and brown.
Such bullshit.
So my people snap out of it. And I know the demographic, the majority of the demographic for people who are watching this are black and brown. But even if you're Caucasian, Asian, or whatever you identify yourself with, your sexual preference, your religion, whatever, we're all the same. So people, please take E. The credit is super duper important, and also invest in yourself, because bro, we would have never met if I would not have invested in myself. And by me doing that, the trickle down effect is you just gave me information that I'm going to follow through on.
Alright, so I got a little rant.
Yeah, please.
With the whole genetics thing of black and brown people are supposed to have high blood pressure because it's genetics. It's not genetics. It's designed, right? Because when you look in our communities, well, what leads to high blood pressure? Let's go to the root. What leads to these obesities and these things that you're talking about? Poor eating conditions. What's in our neighborhood? Chinese restaurants, Popeyes, Wendy's, McDonald's, Burger King's. It's flooded with all the things that contribute to the things that they're saying is genetics. So how is it genetics if they keep putting these things right there? Oh, get your 10-piece nuggets for $1. How, bro? How? Get a Big Mac and cheese and get a red burger or a pink, like, food doesn't naturally look like that. It doesn't. So what are all these things that they're putting in our food that we're supposed to be giving to our kids? So yeah, they grow up with high blood pressure. Why? Because we poisoned their bodies for 18 years, 19 years, and they just continue the poisoning. So what happens in their 30s and 40s? These things start manifesting. High blood pressure, obesity, all these things start coming up. Oh, and then it's genetics. It's not genetics. Credit. They never learned about credit. They never learned about finances. So, working check to check, a mom that's working 3 jobs, how is she going to cook and provide a healthy meal for the kids? Nope. She's going to be on the go. She's going to call on Uber Eats or somewhere. They're going to get McDonald's. You're going to get fast food. You're going to get Chinese food, right? They're going to get these things, put it in the home. But guess what? Now we have a mom that's constantly working 3 jobs, working 90 hours a week, if that's even possible, right? And what we're seeing is a repetition over years. Practice makes permanent. So the things that we're practicing and the habits that kids learn through visuals, they learn through what they see. That's how they learn to walk. That they mimic. Mirroring is what it's called, mirroring. So when they see these habits, they think this is the norm. Okay, I run out, I get 3 jobs, I'm going to go to McDonald's, I'm going to grab Burger King, and we keep poisoning our bodies. So over time, yeah, guess what? Oh, it's genetics. Well, nobody stopped to question it. Is it really? Or is it that, have you been into other neighborhoods? Not black and Spanish neighborhoods, because we know they already dumped all the shit in there. But let's go over to Riverdale, to our counterparts, to our white friends' neighborhoods. You will not see a McDonald's. You will not see Popeyes. You will not see Chinese food. You will not see a bodega with all these crazy shit in there. It's not over there.
Right.
But guess what? It's a 5-minute drive from east to west. Totally different neighborhoods. Why is that? So why ain't shit over there genetics too? Why? Because they have a whole food market. They have these different food, and you'll see the holistic spots. You're gonna see the vegan spot. You're gonna see the natural spot. You're going to see food that are prepared differently. You're gonna see a different type of lifestyle.
Now, my people, I'm sorry to interrupt. This is obvious.
Go take a look.
We know this, right?
Go take a look.
And
Anybody go take a look.
If you are listening to this and you understand and it makes sense and you're living it and you're in that particular situation, I invite you to understand this. And it's not because I said so, but it's based on history and the things that have been documented. Understand this, motherfucker. No one's coming to save you. At all.
Well, if you're an EMT, you are. Or a paramedic.
But what I mean is, yeah, I'll come. Like, you call 911, you're going to be like, damn, a doctor showed up at my house. Not just a paramedic, but also a doctor. So I'll come and help you, but I will not be able to save you. And what do I mean? Save you from your current financial situation. Save you from your lifestyle decisions. So instead of resonating with this and just accepting it as a reality that you're living in the circumstances and you might as well give up. Nah, man.
Change it.
Being down is one of the best things you could ever wish for.
I mean, the only
because
way...
it makes you stronger.
But the only thing left is to get up.
Yep. Bro, I do martial arts, right? And I do jujitsu, and I sometimes do Muay Thai, and I also have done boxing. And I tell you, bro, some of the toughest guys are 5'6" or shorter. Because everybody's heavier than them. And they have disproportionate size versus the regular size of people or the average American, right? 5'9", 5'8". These guys are inches shorter, 20, 40 pounds lighter. And these guys are tough as nails. Why? Because they've been swimming against the current. So if you coming from the hood, if you're around this environment, that's what makes, like, the only man who's respected is a man who's actually been through something. Not a bitch that goes cries at the corner. So why do you look up to rappers? Why do you look up to these entrepreneurs? It's because of their story, bro. I think about it. If you was handed down riches and gold, and you never was an EMT, and you never was in the military, and you was born and raised here, and you had a silver spoon in your mouth, everyone's gonna be like, all right, whatever. But when you throw that story in there, they're like, yo, like, think about this. How is it that I'm born and raised in the ghetto in New York City by a single mom? I've been arrested. I'm a high school dropout. I used to carry weapons. I've been shot at. People done tried to kill me.
Damn.
And then I was a gang member to now speaking with so much conviction. So if you're resonating with anything that we're saying, it's because we swam against the current. So my people, stop the victim mindset, because no one's coming to save you. Like, I hate when I hear people with so much power not understand what they're doing. You know, like stop, like, there's segregation that goes on, but you also have to understand you're segregating yourself with your thoughts and your vernacular, the way you carry yourself. And, you know, it's a dog-eat-dog world. And the best thing you could do is just leverage your motherfucking testosterone, get some muscle in your body, do martial arts, make some money, build up your credit score, be a real man, take care of your kids, stop fucking drinking alcohol. Alcohol is for losers, bro. And that shit's gonna sting people, but I'll say why. And it doesn't come from a pedestal, bro. I used to drink every day. You're losing time, you're losing neurons. It's killing every cell in your body. Think about it. Alcohol isn't the same thing that you clean your hands with. You're losing energy. You're losing whatever gains you done received in the gym. You're losing money. It's a lose-lose situation to drink alcohol. But you need to understand, that's why they call it spirits. Because right when your inhibition is low, that's when you'll lean towards the macaroni and cheese. And it's not that macaroni and cheese is going to kill you, but if you eat it enough times, it will. Death by 1,000 cuts. Think about that, my people. You have to take care of yourself. You're supposed to be living an optimal existence. Look, if your heart is this big, right? Usually your heart is the size of your fist. If your heart is the size of your fist, that structure is made to feed your natural body weight. If you put the same heart to feed extra body weight, it's going to work overtime. And that's how people reach organ failure. But it doesn't happen immediately because we're resilient. We're strong. We adapt. But eventually your body gives out. Like those people who start complaining about knee pain, joint pain, and back pain, they didn't feed it in their 20s because they were still so strong. But eventually the body's just like, yo, you know what? And then when you add medication to it, like metformin has adverse effects of lactic acidosis. Lactic acidosis causes renal failure. And renal failure is an absolute indication for dialysis. And the prognosis of somebody to live an extended life after initiating dialysis, it's 0 to none. You got like 6 months to live after starting dialysis. I mean, that's a case-by-case basis. There's outliers who last years with it. But bro, once they like start doing all these things to you, and it's all because you ate some motherfucking potato chips, bro. Like, snap the fuck out of it, bro. People's definition of enjoying life accelerates their death. Yo, I celebrate, man. Let's celebrate. I just closed the big ass deal. Let's go get some food. Yeah, order that lobster, order that steak, man. Let's wash it down with a drink. And you think about the really fatty food, You think about the alcohol, you think about the smoking, and some people also do cocaine, and then they go ahead and get prostitutes and have unprotected sex because they was too drunk to put on a condom. And all these things accelerate your death. But because you listen to hip-hop music, by the way, I was raised on hip-hop music, that shit programs you to think you're doing the right thing. Like, bro, I had rappers, while carrying a weapon, there was like New York City gangster rappers that made me wish, like I used to wish people would step on my sneakers. And by the way, I'm far from gangster. But like literally, where I'm from, there was dudes who did real time in jail. I was not one of them. But since I listened to this music so much, I was like brainwashing myself to like go down that route.
We are what we consume.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And guys, listen. If you grab at least one part of what we have going on here and apply it, like replay it, take notes, your life will be changed forever. Because if you want to be an electrician, if you want to be an entrepreneur, if you want to be a paramedic, if you want to be a doctor, you can do it all. Like, being a minority is no longer an issue. But you must first be good at being yourself. Like, literally, with this attitude that I have, what do you think is going to happen if you put me in Subways or McDonald's? I'm going to end up being the manager. If you put me in the ER residency, I'm going to end up being the chief resident. And because some people are made to be leaders. And the reason why I bring that up is because you are made to be a leader as well, big bro. Because the same information that you receive, you have brethren that receive the same information and they ain't doing nothing with it.
Absolutely.
So what does that mean?
Success loves speed.
Yep. Action takers are money makers. Nehemiah Davis. I got that shit written on my journal. And the reason, and Neo comes from the offspring of E.T., if I'm not mistaken. And why do I bring this up? Certain people, it's going to go in one ear out the other. But if you listen to this and resonating with it, then God chose you to be a leader. And the best, the for sure way for you to be cursed is for you to disregard or mistreat a blessing. Like, if you're blessed with something, the blessing to be alive, the blessing to have your body, the blessing, and you're disrespecting it, then you're going to be cursed. Not because I said it, just look at the track record, bro. People that suffer from depression, you probably heard it before, they're selfish. They're thinking about themselves too much. You're so self-centered that you're suffering from all these things. And it all goes back down to the same old shit, bro. It's money, it's physical health, it's nutritional health, it's spiritual health, and it's your nutrition. And bro, I would love the world where we're like all vibing high as fuck, you know what I'm saying? Like that natural high that you get after hitting a punching bag, that natural high you get after doing jujitsu or choking somebody. Like, it sounds kind of barbaric, bro, but we have warrior genetics. That's why they call it survival of the fittest. Because the reason we're alive is because your ancestors were strong enough to survive.
Winners win and losers lose.
Losers lose. And we want you to be winners, man.
Absolutely. You have to be winners. Like, in the direction where the economy is going now, the change in the economy, and a lot of people don't want to admit it, but winter is coming. It's coming. And whether you want to believe it or not, it's coming. Winter is coming. So people need to get up, stop sitting on their hands. They need to start taking action, because like, we've been surviving off of bad credit for far too long, and like now it's a time for us to thrive. There's a shift in wealth, and I'm telling you, the shift, only the people that wants to thrive, the people that are willing to execute, the people that's willing to be in the rooms, the people that's willing to invest in themselves, these are the people that's going to thrive. And the same people that's been sitting on their hands waiting for somebody to come and save them, these are the same people that's going to be on the sidelines and watch another 1 million or 2 million people become new millionaires, and all they're going to say is, oh, you know, I used to know Dr. Ray when he was in the ambulance. Now, Dr. Ray owns Ray's Ambulance Services, where now he employs 200 to 300 employees, and he has a multi-million-dollar business. But a person is going to say, oh, I knew you from when you were just a paramedic. Yeah. The goal is not to stay where you are. The goal is to get to the next level. But people will always sit on the sideline, and when you say, hey, I have this great plan of opening up a non-emergency service where we can now help geriatric patients or patients with disability to get from point A to point B, and also make sure that we're able to deliver their medications from the pharmacy to their homes or to their nursing home or wherever they want it. And when you told somebody that dream, that person didn't believe in it. And they're like, yeah, well, you know what? Let somebody else figure it out. And, they're continuing working for $18, $19, maybe $20 an hour. Then it took you 3 years, but then if you break down your calculations, you're getting paid $50,000 to $60,000 an hour. There's people that actually make that type of money. And the same person is going to be like, oh, do you have any... Bro, I told you I was going to build this company. I told you that, we could do this together. And all you did was said, you don't want to leverage your credit. You don't want to do none of this because you want to see receipts. Then continue waiting on receipts, because I'm sorry, I'm not Captain Save-A-Ho. I'm not.
Word. Yo, man. And basically, if you notice, me and his brother are like in the point in our specific niche where we could speak about the technical portion of it to the point where unless you're in the same niche, you're not going to understand it. But if you notice, the majority of the conversation has been catered towards motivation and self-development, because that's where it starts.
The key thing is your mind.
Yeah, man.
Mindset. And before we wrap up, so I love giving back, and one of the things I'm going to give back is to all my first responders, to any of my law enforcement or fire or whoever. If you're in the service, I want you to text me the word responder. So text the word responder to 917-810-3329. So once you text the word responder, I will have 3 ebooks for you. Just text the word responder. I'm going to have 3 free ebooks for you. You can use the information there. You can start getting some results. You can get some inquiries deleted. You can start repairing, rebuilding, and restoring your own credit. And that's just the nature of the game. Just start rebuilding, repairing, and restoring your own credit. And if you guys want to find me on Instagram, The Credit Hero, so The Credit Hero. Look me up on YouTube, on anywhere. Just put Daraine Delevante. So that's DARAINE-DELEVANTE. Just put me in Google, and you just follow the bread trail from there. You got anything before we head out of here?
My people, I wish you the best. You deserve optimal health. Wholeheartedly, sincerely, I went from being in the worst case scenario to being and living an optimal existence, being high off life, pursuing my dreams and doing the things that makes my mom proud. Because I tell you, man, if you love your kids, if you love your wife, if you love your mom, then become a motherfucking beast, bro, in all areas of life. Please, if you want to find me, if you want to listen to anything along these lines, if you want that hard truth that everybody needs, and you want to take extreme accountability for your actions, and you want to improve your current situation, or you just want to ask me a question, bro, I'm here for you. Find me on Instagram, NYC Streets MD. And why is it NYC Streets MD? Because I'm from NYC, Corona, Queens. I'm from the streets. I was in the streets, and I'm still in the streets working as a paramedic. And I'm an MD. I'm a medical doctor. You could also find me on YouTube. Same thing, NYC Streets MD. I'm here for y'all, man. I'm here for y'all.
Let's get it. Let's go.
Thank you. Peace.